My name's Adam Leonard.
My name's Elliott Leonard.
And today we're reviewing Horizon Forbidden West for the PlayStation 5. Horizon Forbidden West is an open-world action-adventure game with RPG elements that has you fighting against mysterious foes who want to destroy the Earth.
Now let's find out why Horizon Forbidden West is one of the best games on PS5.
Good job. Like and subscribe!
I'm running out of time, Elizabeth. The land is dying. People are suffering. Soon, they'll starve. And the machines meant to help us are out of control. I have to find a way to fix it all. And the answer is somewhere out in the Forbidden West.
Now, Horizon Forbidden West is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, one of Elliott and my favorite games for the PlayStation 4. One of the things that we really think this game does better than the previous one is the action and the move sets and the way that the DualSense works with the game.
What I think's really important about the game is that the DualSense is controllers are much more easy to feel the vibration in it.
It really feels differently when you play the game, and it adds a lot of immersion to it. So for example, now with the PlayStation 5 controller, when Aloy pulls her bow back,
you can actually feel it getting harder to push.
you feel it in the triggers and the way that it provides resistance, right?
And when she stabs things open, it's harder to push the button.
So there's a lot more feedback programmed into those triggers depending on what you're doing in the game. And not only the triggers, but I found that the vibrations, they're much more nuanced in this game, and you can feel them in a lot more different interactions. For example, I noticed when you swim underwater in this game, you can kind of feel a very slight, subtle vibration as if you're pushing through the waves and the current. Let's talk about some of Aloy's new move sets, because she does a lot of new things.
The shield ring is an pretty fun thing to glide through the whole map.
You jump off of
A
high
giant
point,
cliff, you then
hold down what button? Square button.
You don't have to worry about any bar going down or anything. You can just keep going and going and going until you land. And it took about 3 minutes.
And it took about 3 minutes.
It's much more fun to swim in the water.
You can go underwater now for the first time ever.
Yeah.
You couldn't go underwater in the first game, so this is something that's completely new.
Yeah, and there's secret underwater tunnels, and there's and later on in the game you get to stamina and make that bar bigger.
So when you start the game, she has oxygen. She has an oxygen meter that depletes because you can only
For so long. Yeah, he's dying.
But later in the game, you unlock what they call a rebreather, and it's kind of like a scuba mask. You want to talk about the skill tree?
Sure.
Okay, so in Horizon Forbidden West, Aloy can unlock a whole bunch of different attacks and special power-ups and things to assist her in the game.
Now we're working on a machine master. There's mostly paint faces that makes her stronger, more powerful.
When I paint my face, that makes me stronger and more powerful. I do that all the time. Before I go to work in the morning, I just grab a handful of paint and I go whoosh.
No.
What are some of the other skill tree paths besides Machine Master?
There's hunter, there's warrior, there's potion ones, there's traps. There's a whole bunch of different kinds.
Aloy also has a lot of different weapons in her arsenal, a lot of different tools that she can use to attack the machines and the enemies in the game. Elliott, why don't you run through some of the best weapons in Horizon Forbidden West?
There's strong bows and normal bows, and there's even some that have 4 different kinds of arrows in that one bow.
So there's lots of different types of arrow tips that do different things, like what?
They can freeze, they can blow up, they can poison them.
Is there an arrow that helps Aloy clean her room?
No, that's not even a thing on there.
If I shot you with the room cleaning arrow, then you would have to go clean your room.
Can we just talk about the game?
Besides the bow and arrows, everybody knows about the bow and arrow in Horizon Forbidden West.
There
What
is.
don't they know?
Now there's these like saw blades that she can like. She has a gun on her hand. It's like a giant like circle thin thing that's super sharp, and then it like damages them. Like if they have a shield, let's say that, and then we hit it with it, it bounces back and damages you instead of them, because they have a shield, and a shield break. The shield breaker one actually breaks it, and then gets to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's ones that stick in and drill into their skin.
Oh, that's my favorite one, the drill tip. So you throw this into the side of a machine.
And then it just like, if you do it to the wall, it'll go through your house.
You shoot that thing at a robot elephant's butt, and whoa boy.
Yeah, you see a nugget come out.
And speaking of enemies, there are tons of different kinds of machines in this game. I think it's like 3 times the amount of machines from the first game. Run down some of these really awesome new machines that we fight.
Like, there's now giant elephants and giant hippos and giant raptors, pterodactyls, weasels, giant snakes.
Kangaroos. Remember the kangaroo guy?
Yeah, Daddy took like 5 tries to get him, and I took him 1.
Anteater.
Yeah, those guys are annoying.
There's a bear. There's an old lady robot. There's a robot that looks like Kenny Rogers. The coolest machine in this game, though,
is the tall neck.
Let's talk about the tall necks. I felt like the tall necks
Incredible.
They were way better in this game because in the previous Horizon, it was just a matter of climbing to the top of them, and then they open up. They're like
giant portal.
They're like a viewpoint for the map, and they expand and show you everything around you. But in this game, they're much more puzzle-like. There are tall necks that you find that are destroyed that you have to repair. Some of them you find, there's one that you find that's like underground, and you have to bring it up through an elevator. So they're much more tricky. Is there a robot that helps you clean your room?
Can you stop talking about me cleaning my room?
Now let's talk about the story of Horizon Forbidden West, which is one of my favorite parts of the game. It's a direct sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. And while you save the world at the end of the first game, mankind finds itself up against another disaster. Resources are running out, there are huge storms and ecological disasters, and the system that was put in place to save the world in the original game is starting to fall apart. So it's up to Aloy to travel to the Forbidden West and find all the components of this system so that you can rebuild it and save mankind from a second extinction. What did you think about the storyline?
It was good. What I think one thing they could work on better is like put a little more story into it.
A little bit more? Did you think it was too short?
No, I'm just saying like a talk was like pretty short, and then the next talk was like about a whole different thing, and I don't know.
So you were kind of confused by it? There's a lot of lore in Horizon. There's a lot of backstory.
It's just because like there's a big open thing without any talking, just machine masters.
So you spend a lot of time playing the game in the great big open world, and then they kind of funnel you into a story segment, and you were feeling a little bit confused by it? Okay,
yes.
that makes sense.
It was pretty cool, and I'm thinking they did a great job on it, and they added so much detail, like, whoa.
Who is your favorite character in the game?
Probably the mysterious one, Silent, because they were not friends, but then
So you never really know what side he's on. Sometimes you're mad at him, sometimes he's helping you, and it goes back and forth throughout the whole. And there's a lot of characters like that. A lot of characters that you think are good guys end up being bad guys, or you think they're bad guys but they end up helping you. We won't spoil it for you, but they do a really good job of making you as the player like, whoa, what are they doing now? This is crazy.
One more thing, there is so many side quests, so
Yeah.
many bandit camps, everything.
There's lots of stuff to do in the game besides just the main stuff. You like doing the bandit camps, which are pretty traditional for open world games. You find a point that's overrun with bad guys and you clear it out, and then that becomes like a safe zone. I liked what's called the relic ruins, which are little they're like puzzles.
Yeah. I started doing one this morning. That's
Did
what,
you?
Yeah.
Tell people what the cauldrons are.
They're kind of like bandit camps. Besides people, it's like how many people are in a bandit camp. That's how many machines are in a cauldron. So it's also like a puzzle to get to the end of it. At the end, there's always a boss. My favorite was the one where we fought the Spinosaurus. You are trying to be able to upgrade your staff and be able to override more machines, and you can even override a giant machine.
Horizon Forbidden West is the ultimate sequel. It's one of the best PlayStation games that I've ever played. It's clear that PlayStation really has put their money in with this franchise. Everything is better, from the controls to the combat to the feature set to the graphics to the music to the acting. It takes everything that the original game was and blows it up, right? It's so much better. It is one of the best open world games I've ever played. I cannot wait to see what's next for this franchise. Our score for Horizon Forbidden West is
5 stars. Well, thanks for watching the video. We worked super hard on this.
What did you think about reviewing your first game? Was that fun?
Yeah.
So cool.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and bye-bye. Hi.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
5, 5, 5, 5, 6. What?
5, 5. Say testing.
Testing.
Now say it in a louder voice. Testing.
Testing.